Hi, Space 1889 fans. I'm Darrell Hayhurst, the designer on the newest edition of Space 1889. And let's talk a little bit about vehicles, because this is something that's important to me. That, to me, one of the strengths of the setting is the cool airships or the tripods or the land juggernauts, and especially the ether flyers, right? It's called Space 1889. You got to make sure to go to space. And all of these, glorious metal beasts, with their iron plating and their lightning guns or whatever they've got on them, they're the best, right? And so we wanted to make sure that the system itself was going to be able to handle them, was going to integrate them in a way that was very consistent, right? And so what we've done is, vehicles have stats just like characters do, and the games, the only main difference, the grammar for them works the same way. The rules are going to work the same, whether you're a character or whether you're a ship. What changes is the stats that you're rolling against and also the scale, right? Whereas the vehicles have damage values, where on foot, it's pretty much like you're down and out. It doesn't matter if you get hit by a cannon that's 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage. Well, you're just, right? Like a cannon, you're done. But on a vehicle, it matters, and they've got armor, and the kind of armor that vehicles have is way thicker and way more powerful than anything that a character. This, it works the same way that personal protection does, but it's on a different scale. And then we wanted to make sure that these different vehicles felt different, and that's reflected in their stats and how they move and what they can do. And they've all got speeds and they've got endurance, because you need fuel to make them go. We also wanted to keep the paperwork simple enough so that you can use your vehicles and have fun with them. Every group is called a crew in the game, and they get a ether flyer by default. Like, that is the assumption of the game, is you guys have an ether flyer so you can go to different planets and do different things. And there are going to be all sorts of specialized vehicles like aerial gunboats or sky galleons that in their own environment are going to be way tougher and better at jobs like combat or patrol or things like that. But the nice thing is, an ether flyer, your ether flyer, is going to be crewed by player characters, and player characters are pretty tough and very skilled, and that can close the gap. And then the other thing that's interesting about it is, if you're bringing a character that can bring parts to a vehicle, like a wealthy character or an inventor, then you get to not only, you can increase that starting vehicle, you can add elements to it, you can make it larger if you've got the money for it, you can add weapons if you could invent them, you can increase the armor, or you can install crazy steampunk science fiction systems that other people just don't have access to. So it's not that you're screwed if you don't have those characters, but life can be better if they're there.